John Lusk here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Serious testing, successful hunting. I've got another really cool broadhead to test here today. It's another one by Trifecta. So I've tested a few different Trifecta heads so far, and what's cool about them is they use the same ferrule, but then have a few different fixed blade configurations and sizes, and a few different mechanical blade configurations and sizes, all within the same ferrule. So it saves money, and I don't know, it's just a really cool design idea for them. But today what I'm going to be testing is the 125 grain, 1 1/4 inch fixed blade, solid blade model. Earlier this year, I tested the 100 grain fixed blade head, and that's the same as this one, only it has vented blades. And so now they filled in the gap there, and that's what gives it that extra 25 grains, but same cutting diameter. So really cool looking head, eager to put it to the test. I'm gonna be using my regimen for 2023. You can read about that in the description right below this video, or watch a video where I introduce and describe and explain why I do the tests that I do, and you can find that just called 2023 Broadhead Test Process. I'm going to be using my Bowtech CP28 set at 72 pounds, using Bishop FOC King arrows for most of the shooting, but the Bishop FAD eliminators for the really hard impact stuff. Let's zoom on in here and check out this cool looking Trifecta 125 grain fixed head. So here's a good look at the head, and man, this is one sweet looking broadhead right here. I love it with the solid blades and the way that they're kind of angled back there just to save on surface area. You're getting a full 1 1/4 inch cutting diameter this way, and yet it's so short and even kind of comes back like that just to minimize the surface area that's going to aid in flight forgiveness as well as penetration, because there's just less exposed blade. So you got an 1 1/4 inch cut, 1 1/4 inch cut there, and then here with the tip, you've got an extra 3/8 of an inch cut. Now it's all steel. It's made out of a 420 stainless steel all throughout. The blades, the main blades, are a stout 0.078 inches thick, really thick blades. And even this tip is a 0.040 inches thick, which is one of the thicker blades on the market. That's like an Exodus main blade just for the tip. And it too is really short and stout. They're all single bevel sharpened to a 40-degree bevel angle. And you can see the tip has 2 edges, so very easy to sharpen. And same thing with the main blades. You've just got these 2 edges to sharpen. So the Stay Sharp Guide C guide works really well with these. Super stout tip. Not sure how sharp that'll be. We'll have to test it. Sometimes when you go with 40 degrees, it maximizes rotation and it minimizes edge chatter. It provides a really durable edge. Sometimes you sacrifice a bit in sharpness in doing that, but really well-designed broadhead. And as I've shared before, if you've seen my tests of these broadhead, the cool thing about these is they're so completely modular, even within the same ferrule. You can switch out a few different sizes of mechanical blades in this same ferrule. They've got a 1.65 inch cut, gator style head like this. They've got a 1.87 inch cut, and then they now have a 2.1 inch cut. And those go from 100 grains to 125 grains. And you can put in 100 grain vented blades that are also 1 1/4 inch, or you can put in 150 grain 1 1/2 inch blades. So all that within the same ferrule is really a cool way to have something to fit every hunting situation. Now, in a separate video, I'm going to test the 1 1/2 inch 150 grain. But that's a good overall look at the broadhead. Eager to put this head to the test and see how it performs. It took 200 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is a 10 on a 10-point scale. It penetrated 9 inches. It took an extra 25 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is a 9.5 on a 10-point scale. It penetrated through 65 layers. It rotated 150 degrees at 14 inches. That's almost double the best rotating head that I've ever tested to date. Really amazing. It's in pristine condition after the 3 shots through the MDF. And here it is after the 2 shots through the steel plate. It did extremely well. Little bit of nicking in some of the blades. And check out these holes, man. There's just a classic S-cut of a really good single bevel. But you can also see the cross cut in the center of the hole there where that leading blade cuts. And then I love the way that there's like a super wide channel where the blades are. That's different than most of the heads, the single bevel heads that I test. And that's due to that extra thick blade as it rotates. Really makes a nice thick cut. That's going to be difficult to close up. Here it is after all the durability tests, gone through the MDF 3 times, the steel plate 2 times, and then into the concrete. And man, it held together extremely well. The only damage is there's a little bit of twisting in that tip because that single bevel getting some rotation in the concrete there, or trying to get the rotation. But that's just ever so slight. Actually, the tip is really quite sharp and spins perfectly well. Really impressive durability. So what'd you think? Wow, what a performer, right? Man, this is a good broadhead. It actually scored just a little bit higher than the 100 grain, and it got the highest score of any fixed blade head that I've tested so far in 2022 or 2023. Really impressive. If you're looking for something that flies extremely well, penetrates extremely well, rotates extremely well. This actually had the highest rotation of any head that I've ever tested by far. I mean, it just rotates because the way the thick blades and the single bevel, the angle and so forth, the durability, I mean, man, it just did not have a weakness. It doesn't have the cut size that the big brother, the 150 grain 1.5 inch does, but man, big enough. So if you're really looking for deep penetration and excellent flight along with kind of everything else, then you ought to check this out. And feel free to use my discount code. I mentioned that in previous videos, but with Trifecta, they've performed so well that I asked them if they would consider giving me a discount code that I could pass on to you. So if you type in LUSK10, LUSK10, then you save 10% on any order. And they're not very expensive anyway. For this kind of performance, it really is a good value. But then typing in just that simple discount code, you save 10%. I mean, it's an even better value. So great job, Trifecta. Again, congratulations. I look forward to seeing more stuff that you come out with in the future.